When I heard you destroyed the Takan vault, I was surprised.
By my order?
By myself. Surprised that I was glad to hear it. The Hotari do not wage war or kill our enemies if we can avoid it. But hearing that the Takan, who have decimated my people, took such a loss... Is it wrong that it feels like justice? We've lost so much to the Takan.
We sometimes have to take lives in the line of duty, but we can never take pleasure in it.
A necessary evil?
One of many.
It's coming along nicely. Thank you, Tylus. I'll take it from here. We're almost done.
I have to brief Ambassador Spock in a few minutes.
Ambassador Spock can wait. You have some fences to mend. I know you had your reasons for destroying the Draconian crystals, and I won't question them. Hopefully this galvanizes the bridge crew behind your leadership. But I expect there will be fallout with Portal. Assuming he's still with us. I sincerely doubt he's indifferent to what happened.
One of Captain Solano's many strengths was that he welcomed opposing views, and I feel the same. So please don't ever hold back. That doesn't necessarily mean I'll agree, but I want to hear your thoughts either way.
Good, because I'll give you my unvarnished opinion whether you want it or not. It's been a chaotic last few days for everyone. You need to name a new first officer in preparation for what's coming. It basically comes down to Westbrook, Ermot, or Bedrosian. Obviously, there are pros and cons with each. But ultimately, the decision is yours. Commander Westbrook has seniority and was hoping to be Captain Solano's first officer. Lieutenant Bedrosian has always been devoted to you.
If I were to take everything into consideration, then Lieutenant Bedrosian feels like the perfect fit for the position.
Well, despite a lack of seniority, still a solid candidate. Some would argue, though, that you wanted to go the easy route. Someone less likely to disagree with you. But that's entirely your prerogative. You're as good as new.
Thank you, Dr. Duvall.
Always nice to have a captive audience. You really shouldn't keep Ambassador Spock waiting.
We'll have Ambassador Spock via subspace shortly.
Thank you, Mr. Ermot.
Petty Officers Diaz and Edsolar have first-hand experience with our adversaries. I thought it advantageous for them to join this briefing. I understand this is unusual, but I trust you have no objections?
Talk about moving up in the world.
Excellent idea, Mr. Chovak. They deserve to be here.
In all seriousness, what Diaz and Edsolar accomplished aboard the Zeldi is nothing short of remarkable. They're both to be commended, not only for surviving against incredible odds, but for helping our efforts against these scions.
You know, Carter deserves most of the credit. None of us would have made it without his help. We'd all be bioformed by this point.
There were way more people involved than just me. Not only Petty Officer Edsolar, but we had help from an Elydian officer named Arminta as well.
Interesting.
Ambassador Spock is ready for you.
Put him through.
Captain Rydek, your recent change in station certainly warrants mention, and I trust you to faithfully execute your expanded duties. Right now, we must keep our attention on the clear and present danger that lies ahead, the Takan and their warship. The closest populations are the Hotari and Elydian systems, and they are likely the first targets for mass bioforming. After that, lies Federation space. I have advised Starfleet Command to send an impromptu battle group to intercept and assist you, but that will take time. You are our first line of defense. And with our shield algorithms compromised, we are at a great disadvantage.
I'm glad to hear the battle group is en route, Ambassador. With what we're up against, we're gonna need all the help we can get.
And you will have it. Remember, our strength is drawn from our ability to work together towards a common goal.
Have we made any progress in finding a way to defend ourselves from the Aphilion's bioforming weapon?
Currently, our shields will not protect us, but I am compiling all of the information the away team gathered on the Zeldi and cross-referencing it against our own as well as Portal 6-3's methods.
The away team is sitting right here. They survived without getting bioformed, so we know it's possible. So, what's the secret? How do we defend ourselves? Is there a weakness we can exploit? Something we can do to avoid getting bioformed?
I wish I could tell you the solution, but the truth is, there is no easy answer. There's no defense against bioforming, one-on-one or on a mass scale. At least, not that I know of.
May not be able to stop it, but it might be possible to slow it down. It's too soon to say for sure, but we've had some promising indications that Duridium can delay the bioforming process.
Duridium?
It's not a cure. It's not going to bring anyone back we've already lost. But Duridium is a cell stabilizer, so it has the potential to slow down the onset of physical and mental changes, if not entirely prevent them. And it might be the only ship in the fleet with this much Duridium on hand.
You say that it slows the process, but this doesn't actually stop the Tekon from taking over, does it?
Correct. I can't be 100% certain, but it appears this is only a short-term solution. Also, it requires a much larger dose to be effective. We don't have enough Duridium on board to protect the whole crew. We barely have enough to protect everyone in this room.
Sounds like it won't do us much good then.
The use case I'd suggest is that it could buy a little time for an officer or a small group to complete a task or mission. But it has to be taken at the moment of exposure to the bioforming mechanism.
Prepare a delivery method for this remedy.
That raises the question. What is the mission?
The Zeldi's shields were stronger than anticipated. If the Aphelion has even more effective protection, we'll have difficulty breaking through.
We may not be able to block the Aphelion's attack either. But if they do strike, we know their weapon uses transporter technology. We might be able to backtrack their signal path.
Like we did to evacuate Captain Rydek from Tau.
Exactly. We could send an away team onto the Aphelion.
And destroy it from the inside. Modify photon torpedoes to use as explosives.
So it's like jujitsu. We use their attack and turn it against them.
That's the idea.
We'll keep thinking on it. I'd rather not have to take a direct hit to punch back. There might be some other way we can turn their strength into a weakness.
I'll have security personnel prep a boarding party, should the opportunity arise.
Petty Officers Edsalar and Diaz are the logical choices to lead any away mission to the Aphelion. They have already crippled one enemy ship. If anyone can do so again, it is them.
This isn't a rescue. It's a tactical incursion. Do you really have some special insights, as Commander Chovak suggests?
Doesn't the fact that we're here speak for itself?
Just surviving won't be enough this time.
Sabotage is kind of becoming our specialty. We'll find a way to get the job done.
Well, he certainly has the swagger for it.
If this is the necessary course of action, I support it.
With the help of Portal. He should be part of the away team.
I will compile all the latest data on the tricorders, just in case.
In the meantime, I want you working on ways we can combat the Tekon tech. Shields, weapons, anything we can use.
Yes, Captain.
Anything else, Ambassador?
I know this matter is in capable hands. Hold the line as best you can. Help is on the way.
Thank you. We have plenty to do and no time for speeches. Let's get to work. Thank you, Petty Officers Diaz and Edsalar. You're dismissed.
While we have a quorum of senior staff, there is a procedural element we need to take care of. The Resolute command codes must be transferred to Captain Rydek. For control of the ship.
Of course.
Computer, transfer all command codes to Captain Jara Rydick. Voice authorization Ermot, Echo 4 Lima.
Voice authorization Duval. Beta 2 Yankee.
Voice authorization Westbrook. Alpha 7 Tango.
Awaiting your authorization, Captain.
Voice authorization, Rydick. Bravo. 3. Yankee.
Captain's codes transferred. The updated command structure is incomplete. Please designate a new first officer.
Who is the new first officer?
Please designate a new first officer.
It is my honor to name Lieutenant Bedrosian as the new first officer of the USS Resolute.
Wow.
Congratulations, Lieutenant.
I don't even know what to say. Thank you.
Computer, Lieutenant Bedrosian is the new first officer of the USS Resolute.
Awaiting voice authorization.
Voice authorization Bedrosian, Gamma 5-9.
Authorization is now complete.
Now, if you'll excuse me, there's work to be done.
Nicely done. I think that went well.
Captain Rydick!
Excuse me for a minute.
This is just unbelievable, unacceptable, inexplicable. To be the most senior officer on the bridge, and to be passed over again? I couldn't believe you went to Lieutenant Bedrosian with the information about Captain Solano being compromised instead of me. But this... I've never felt more humiliated.
I know how you must feel given your seniority and history aboard this ship. You have every right to be angry, but I had to factor what would best serve our interests at this particular point in time. Which is why I chose Lieutenant Bedrosian.
And that is the greatest insult of all. One of the most junior officers on the bridge. Bedrosian doesn't have the experience to be an effective first officer. It'll never work. You might as well have chosen Handar. It doesn't make any sense. Bedrosian, of all people.
I'm sorry, Commander Westbrook, but my decision is final.
Ridiculous.
I don't understand. Giving everything she's got, but it doesn't make a difference. Something is actively slowing us down.
Keep trying. What's the situation in engineering?
I can't raise them. Internal comms are down.
It's the ionic interference. It's spiking again. If we reinitialize the central communications trunk, it should compensate. I know the process, Captain. With your permission, I'll go handle it.
Of course.
The Aphilion's impressive. I'll give him that. If they catch up to us, we better be ready to fight. Maybe we can use Galvin's confidence against them, and somehow turn that to our advantage.
We can't fight them on their terms. We have to be clever.
We're being pulled out of warp!
I've got the Aphelion rapidly bearing down on our position.
We're being hailed by the Aphelion. Galvin demands to be heard.
On screen.
Destroying millions of Draconian lives was a fatal mistake. And I will personally make sure you stay alive long enough to regret it. You were right to run. But there is no escape from the inevitable.
That was just the beginning, Galvin. I'm coming for you next.
I've had enough of this charade. You've outlived your usefulness. We both know I hold your fate in the palm of my hand. That I could crush you in an instant if I so desired. And as much as I'd like to, you have another purpose to serve. As one of us.
Red alert! Pandar, get us out of here! Evasive maneuvers!
They've hit the lower decks. But there's no sign of structural damage.
They were targeting the crew, not the ship.
We have to strike back. While we still can.
Fire photon torpedoes! Target the source of the beam!
Photon torpedoes are having no impact, Captain. We can't get past their shields.
The Aphilion's just too powerful.
Damage report from the lower decks.
Still can't get through on the comms, Captain. If that was the bioforming ray, we have to assume there are now Takan on board the Resolute. They could all be Takan at this point. Or will be soon enough.
Seal the bridge. No one gets access without my permission.
I think that would be wise.
Here are your new tricorders. Now go. Get to the transporter room.
Who's on what side, Carter? Come on!
Transporter room 1.
You're coming with us?
A security officer told me your funeral, which I gladly accepted.
These are concentrated deuterium doses. You need to take the dose as soon as you're exposed for it to be effective. Hell, take it right before if you can get the Takan to wait while you do it.
I'm having trouble locking onto the transporter path through the interference.
I've done this before. I have to align the transporter with the tetrametric signature. We need to tunnel through the shields. There's a problem. We don't have enough power to make the jump. I might be able to divert power from
Stand aside. The signal is now resolved. I couldn't let you fumble about any longer. Time is running short.
That's great. You must be Portal 6-3.
Yes. Guardian of the Takan Empire.
I'm Carter. Engineer of the Starship Resolute.
We're right behind you.
Do us proud over there. Ready to transport. On your order.
Energize.
Glory of it. This ship is a marvel. Even to me. It's almost a shame we have to scuttle it. The galaxy has never seen a ship like this.
It is beautiful. I'll give you that.
Resolute, come in!
We're losing cohesion.
I'm gonna try to use my tricorder as a pattern enhancer.
The signal's gone. Are they there? Did you get them?
They didn't make it.
We don't have time to mourn. We have to get to the Cartabula and disable it.
Hopefully before the battle group shows up.
Get served up for the Aphelions' next meal.
I am saturated in Taconian power readings. I can't feel the source just yet.
This way.
Nothing. I can't reach anyone on the lower decks. Internal comms appear to be fully operational again.
That bioforming ray may have transformed dozens of crew members on the lower decks.
Fighting the Aphelion is bad enough. The last thing we need is an insurrection on our own ship.
Which means we have a narrow window of time to cut them off before...
Captain! We're holding them off as best we can on Deck 9, but...
If they spread throughout the decks, we'll never know who to trust. It'll be a civil war aboard our own ship.
Lock down the affected areas immediately. Close the bulkheads and erect the containment fields. No one is allowed in or out without my authorization.
There could be crew members who weren't affected who could get locked inside.
That's a risk we'll have to take.
Locking down the lower decks.
And what happens if some of the bioformed manage to escape? How should the crew engage them? Or should they? We don't want suspicion to run rampant.
We should be cautious. If a situation arises, I want phasers set to stun.
Of course. I'll let the crew know to proceed with caution.
If they're bioformed, they're not our crew anymore.
Commander Westbrook has been gone for quite some time.
The comm system he went to investigate. It's near the affected area. Commander Westbrook? Commander Westbrook, are you there?
Computer shutdown initiated.
Commander Westbrook? He's the one who initiated the shutdown.
That's impossible.
We have 10 minutes until the computer core shuts down and all systems are completely offline. A complete loss of all critical ship functions. Only the captain can override it. At the computer core itself.
With me.
Stop! Identify yourselves!
We're just trying to figure out what's happening. Ah, to hell with it.
You have to get to the computer core! Go!
Master console is up there. I don't have much time.
Captain, are you in here? Are you all right? Ermot asked me to come find you. I came the minute I heard you might be in danger. I'll get this door open. I think I remember the code. Hope you haven't been hurt, Captain. It's not safe here. Chaos in the halls.
Tell me, where were you when the bioforming ray hit the ship?
Well, I was in the turbo lift. Now just stay still. These Federation weapons are so primitive.
Computer termination sequence in progress.
Damn it!
Captain. You're only delaying the inevitable.
Computer termination sequence in progress. Awaiting Captain's authorization.
Cancel computer shutdown!
You won't kill me. It goes against everything you believe in. Besides, you and I, we have history.
Westbrook and I have history. You're not him.
Okay. Okay. Ah!
Awaiting Captain's authorization. Awaiting Captain's authorization.
Cancel computer shutdown. Voice authorization, Rydick. Bravo. 3. Yankee.
Termination sequence cancelled.